Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, Jose Cruz. And ladies and gentlemen, wow, what a fight last night between Jared Big Baby Anderson versus the Prince Charles Martin, man. That was a hell of a fight. Uh, Tremendous performance by both guys. Martin showed up, came to fight. He didn't show up just to show up for a paycheck and become uh, a name on Anderson's record. He came to fight. He came to try to pull off the upset, and man, he had his moments, busting Anderson up with left hands repeatedly, backing him up, snapping his head back, almost had him out a couple times. He really hurt Anderson in that fight, you know. And I had Anderson to win the fight. Um, I also predicted a knockout from Anderson. And I also predicted the fight was going to be good while it lasts because I saw Anderson putting Martin flat on his back, but it didn't happen. Martin, if you looked at them in the ring, then Martin was a much bigger man. He's physically bigger, taller, huge heavyweight, huge heavyweight. Um, with punch, with power, and a southpaw. Southpaw usually hard to beat, hard to fight. And when you got a guy the size of Martin with punching power and experience, former world champion, guys, the former world champion, regardless if he had the title for less than 3 months, whatever. Regardless if he lost it in the next title defense, he won the belt. He became world champion, is in the history books, regardless of how you want to see it. Yes, Martin is not an elite fighter, but again, he's a veteran in the sport. He's got power in both hands. 29 wins and 26 KO in 26 knockouts. He's big, and he's a former world champion who's been in there with Joshua, who's been in there with Adam Konauki, when Adam was Adam, like before he lost to Robert Helenius, and he put up a good fight with Adam, and then he dropped Luis Ortiz twice. Ortiz struggled with Martin. I thought Martin was about to pick up the biggest one of his career until he got caught. So this fight was different. Martin was never really hurt in the way Ortiz hurt him. And of course, Joshua dropped him with a right hand, and that was it in the second round. Martin was nowhere near in that type of trouble. But Anderson was doing really good with letting his offense go, pumping that jab out, doing the hitting body shots, switching from orthodox southpaw to right hand, like he's like Terrence Crawford. Here he will let his combinations go in spots, walk Martin down, you know, squat, uses height, uses short height advantage to get up underneath Martin's punches, trying to get inside, but you know, it worked here and there. Anderson, the only problem I had, Anderson performed excellently, man. This was a hell of an experience for him. Not everything is knockout. I was anticipating a KO shot from Anderson, but it didn't happen. So Anderson had no choice but to box because Martin he came to fight. He was in shape and he was taking those shots, man. Anderson dropped him hard in the third round when both the guys were exchanging shots, and Anderson caught him on the temple of his on the side of Martin's head and dropped him. And the thing is with that shot, the glove was not properly closed. It was like a slap right hand counter shot. If Anderson had closed his fist even more, I think Martin would have probably not gotten up because Anderson can really punch. So if it was a closed fist, a closed glove, man, right on the chin. It was not really on the chin. It was right on the side right in between the temple and in between the chin. So luckily Martin didn't get caught in the chin with that shot, regardless, because he would have gotten hurt. We've seen Martin hurt many times, but a chin from chin shots, good chin shots. And luckily Anderson's glove was not properly closed because Anderson would have probably put him to sleep because it was a shot that came so fast, and and Martin did not see it coming. And Anderson, for a heavyweight, he's got decent hand speed, and that's what happened there. So Martin got up, not really hurt, shook it off, trying to tell Anderson that was a slip. The referee trying to tell the referee it was a slip or whatever. But he fell more off the shot. If it wasn't for the shot, I don't think Martin would have gone down. But yeah. So Martin got up, fought back, started landing his left hands repeatedly. Anderson couldn't do nothing about it. Keep falling back in a straight line, eating those left hands, taking them. Yes, his head was snapping back and he was buzzed, but he never got dropped. He showed he got through the adversity. He handled it well, fought back like a true champion, warrior. It did not discourage him. And yeah, this is a good thing about Anderson not getting a knockout in this fight, is that he had to go 10 solid rounds with a former world champion, a veteran. This was a huge step up. The guy he was supposed to fight from Ukraine, 21-0, that was a good opponent. But here he is now. I think Martin was a better challenge in terms of level. Yes, Martin not elite, but he's a veteran and a former world champion who's been in there with some of the best in the heavyweight division. And Anderson, who is 23 years old, not even with only 14 fights, gets in there with a big, strong heavyweight former world champion in Charles Martin and goes 10 rounds, solid 10 rounds, showing that he could take a shot, showing that he could survive adversity, go 10 rounds without gassing out, and his punching power remains in the late rounds. So his iron was sharpened, man. This is the type of experience he needed. A knockout would have been excellent, but if he kept knocking guys out, he would not be able to learn and sharpen his iron and gain the experience he gained last night. The more Anderson KOs opponents, the longer it's going to take for Anderson to experience what it's like to get it to fight through adversity. Because we never saw Anderson fight through adversity. He did last night, and he handled it well. It did not discourage him. He kept fighting, kept coming forward, more active with his punches. Again, he scored the knockdown. He landed good body shots. So he did what he had to do to get the job done at the end of the day. Now, based on the performance, which was excellent, the only red flag I have for Anderson is stepping back in a straight line, getting away from punches. That's how he kept getting caught with the left hand from Martin. He couldn't do nothing about it. And that's what almost got him in real trouble, and almost got him KO'd, actually, especially in that last round where Martin caught him with a left hand and in the seconds before the bell rang, man. But yeah, Anderson's gonna come out a much better fighter out of this fight, man. And man, his metal has been sharpened for sure. Charles Martin falls down to 29-4, but he came to fight, and they're gonna bring him back for another good on another big stage. But Anderson, man, he's. I'm looking forward to the next fight. Then they got the KO, but not everything is a knockout. He went to 10 rounds with a former world champion. He did what he had to do to get the job done. Like I said, the only red flag I have was stepping back in a straight line to avoid punches. He needs to tighten that up. And once he tighten that up, he's going to be straight, and he's going to be a real problem in the heavyweight division. Anderson, 15-0 now, 14 knockouts. And based on what I've seen on the internet, he's going to be fighting in August, late August, against the guy he was supposed to originally fight before Charles Martin stepped in. Which is a good fight, because I don't think he's ready for the elite heavyweights right now, maybe in a year or two. So a fight like this, his original opponent, who's 21-0 from Ukraine, Kalaskov, something like that, it's a good fight. He was supposed to fight him. Let's fight him, and let's see what he does. And this is the thing. Anderson could probably go in there and KO him too. KO him. That's how it is in boxing. Seismic fights. Anderson might probably put him to sleep. That's how it is. And there you have it, guys. Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Let me know what you think about the fight with Anderson and Martin. Let me know what you think about Anderson's performance. I think it was a solid B, solid B plus, because he checked off a lot of box, man. He showed chin, he showed heart, he showed stamina. He fought through adversity. He dropped a big former world champion in Martin. Yeah, Charles Martin would maybe Jared Big Baby Anderson with the unanimous decision, guys, in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio. Excellent crowd, 7,000 on hand to witness the fight, and tremendous experience for Anderson, who's definitely going to come out of this fight a much better fighter, much better fighter. American Boxing. I'm your host, Jose Cruz, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.